Good morning, gamers. It's Blood Day. It's Monday. Scary Monday. Our first vlog. 3 disturbing horror animated. So I will leave in the description down below. It's thank you for wanting entertainment to seeing for this. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like, turn on notification, and let's get started right into the video. The bus driver.
This incident took place in China. A female bus driver was driving when 3 bullies on the bus suddenly approached her. They began threatening her and told her to stop the bus immediately. Other passengers were ignoring the situation, but one middle-aged man stood up and tried to stop them. However, showing no mercy, they started beating him.
Shoot,
The
that's
bullies
bad,
stopped the
boy.
bus, dragged the driver into the woods nearby, and after a while, returned to the bus. It was certain that the driver was sexually harassed by them. Even though she returned with a terrible look on her face, her expression was still very calm. The driver then ordered the middle-aged man to get off the bus right away. The man complained to the driver that he was the only person trying to save her, but the driver shouted that she wouldn't start until the man got off. The man resisted, but the passengers joined in and forced him out of the bus with his luggage, and then the bus started to drive off. The man was upset, but there was nothing he could do, so he just looked at the back of the bus while it left him behind. Staring at the back of the bus, he was suddenly shocked. When the bus entered the curve, it did not slow down, and then it dropped down a cliff. The bus driver didn't reduce the speed on purpose. All the passengers on the bus died, except for the man who was kicked off the bus.
The woman.
This is a story about a dream. There was a person who was preparing for a trip. After he bought a plane ticket, he waited a few days with excitement and finally fell asleep a day before the trip. And he had a weird dream. He saw a woman in his dream wearing a colorful jacket. Her eyes and mouth were both wide open. Then she suddenly shook her body and started to dance like a mad person. Being surprised, he finally woke up. He checked the time and then he realized that the boarding time had already passed. All of a sudden, he received a phone call from his mother while he was thinking about what he should do next. As soon as he answered the phone, he heard his mother's anxious voice. She was worried about him. Confused, he turned on the television and the news made his heart drop. The plane that he was supposed to be on had crashed. Furthermore, the airline's logo looked very familiar to him. I was bullied when I was in high school. One day, I fell asleep while in class, and when I opened my eyes, it was already dark outside. During the class, no one bothered to wake me up, so I had to leave the classroom alone. The dark hallway was scary, and tears were rolling down my face. I was really sad, realizing that I was being bullied. Anyway, I was passing by a full-length mirror in the middle of the school stairs. Then, as I was walking downstairs with my cell phone's flashlight, I saw myself in the mirror by accident, and I couldn't take my eyes off of it for a while. I was not reflected on the mirror. Being confused, I looked in the mirror straight ahead this time, but still, I couldn't see myself. Staring in the mirror for a few more minutes, I then screamed and ran out of the school. Come to think of it now, I think they didn't see me in the classroom that day.
Oh my gosh. Oh my god. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now next. And then circuses. The woman in a purple dress. Yeah, okay. And so this is one the woman purple dress. It's made by One Day Entertainment. The ones who erected it. Oh god. You should play
A
it.
few years ago,
Oh,
me and
what's
my
that?
family went on our yearly holiday to Madeira, which is the
Madeira.
birthplace of my parents.
Wait,
It
what's
was pretty
Madeira?
normal there.
Okay.
We would sleep in one of our grandparents' home, and during the day, we would go to festivals. If you do not know much about Madeira, then this story will probably give you a better idea. It's not that a physical thing occurred that holiday. It was just this nightmare that became very real for me as a child. As I said before, I was staying at my grandparents' house while in Madeira. I had a room to myself on the upper floor.
Oh.
It was pretty creepy since my grandmother loved Victorian-style dolls. Once I was able to fall asleep, I had a creepy dream that I can't forget. I woke up, and from my bed, I could hear movement on the floor. I looked down to see that the floor was covered in black insects, just crawling around. I
Yee.
could not see the almond brown wood floorboards, and began to yell for help. Someone opened my door, and I saw my little brother come in, but behind him was a woman in a hideous purple dress. I never saw this woman before, but before my brother even came closer to me, I saw the woman force her hand into his back and tear out his heart. I remember screaming in the dream, and all the woman said was, "Your parents aren't here." And I woke up. I was so scared that I went into the next room where my brother should have been asleep. But because it was dark, I couldn't see him. Well, I was a dumb kid. My anxiety level rose even higher. I ran out, went downstairs, and none of my parents were around. I started to panic more because of what that lady in my dream said, and I started to cry even more. Then I heard my older brother call my name from up the stairs. The stairs I just ran down. I told him I had a bad dream, and he stayed in my room, after showing me that my little brother was snoring away in his bed. The next morning, my brother told my parents how I behaved, so my mother asked me what happened. I told her about the dream with the lady in the hideous purple dress. My mother's face became serious, and she looked worried. I didn't know why, since that was unusual for her. About 2 years later, I was going through my parents' wedding album in our home in Madeira, while I was sorting out the top floor of the house with my younger brother. I noticed that one of the pictures was ripped in half. I thought it was unusual, so I began looking through to see where the other half was. It wasn't in the album. I brushed it off. About an hour later, I was going through one of the drawers in the living room cabinet. I saw this picture of a woman in a purple dress. She looked almost identical to the woman in my dream. It was the same dress. I began to get goosebumps, so I put the album on top of a table and opened it to the page with the teared up picture. I began to shiver once the tear of both pictures fit perfectly well together. With worry, I began to ask my mother who was in the image. All I know to this day is that she is perceived as a witch and fled with my maternal uncle from Madeira. Soon after, the whole community began to believe it.
Wait, what is that? It's a crazy woman.
This is possibly all just a coincidence, but it does send a shiver down my spine. I've never met this woman, but she appeared in my dreams. I have no idea on whether or not I will forget the specific details of that dream, especially since I found out more about this woman, who is my aunt-in-law.
It's so freaking scary. Okay, guys. Specification. Bye.